right, so you're gonna want to start by putting your valve stem at like the 6 o'clock position down here, and just open it up and like let a lot of the air out. And then you're gonna want to look at this. So the valve core on this part, if you can see it, there's black and then there's silver. That silver part is the valve core. So that whole thing will twist out. So once you take some of the air off, you need to unscrew that. I might have sent you with a small little wrench. It kind of looks like a Pac-Man almost, that you've put around this, because it's a circle, but on two sides of it, it's squared off, that you can put a little wrench. If you don't have it, you can use some pliers. Just be really careful that you don't like mess up the threads. But you want to hold the base part while you screw this valve stem out, the valve core out. And then once you do that, it'll let all the air out. So it'll come out pretty forcefully. So if you let some of the air out ahead of time, it makes it a little less violent. Sorry, this isn't the right tool, so it's a little hard. You just want to stabilize this, because otherwise, as you're unscrewing this, you'll kind of unscrew down here where it's actually sealing on the rim. Don't like doing this with the pliers, but okay. So then once it's out, you'll hear it like goes really. Okay, then come show over here, Finn. So the idea is once you're out, hopefully this will stay like seated on the rim. So you can see here like it hasn't lost connection with that. So now this is open. So if you have that syringe, you would take that syringe that you've filled up, pretend this is your syringe, you kind of thread it up in here and then put it on here and then inject it in, okay? And then that creates a little bit of a seal. So then you want to rotate it. You can come film from this side. So then you want to kind of rotate it up to about there so that the sealant that you put in kind of can come down here. And then kind of just wiggle this off, break the seal a little bit, because if you pull it off quickly, it'll kind of shoot out some sealant. And then I usually just tap it, wipe off any excess, because you don't want to get a bunch of sealant around this. Otherwise, that's what makes it so your valve core doesn't like push down and engage well when you're trying to inflate it. And then all you do is just screw it back in, get it hand tight, and then basically just give it like a turn or two with the wrench. If you don't have the syringe, the other thing that you can do is you can use a tube, like a hose. So this one, like this stuff, comes with this hose. Let's see if I can get this open. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So it comes with a hose that actually goes on the nozzle, and then you put that hose on that valve core. Again, you take the valve core off, and you put this on over it like that, and then you take this and you basically then, you know, turn it and pump it in, and you just kind of use it off the gradation of the.
How much should you put in?
So in theory, for the tri-bike tires, you should put about 2 ounces in. So if you can get that syringe, just do 1 full syringe. But if you can't get that syringe, you may have to, I don't know if you have any tubing like this. With your orange seal, I'm not sure how we would get it in without the syringe and not breaking the rim. So ideally, getting that syringe is going to be the best case scenario. So I wonder what time your Amazon stuff usually comes on Thursdays, because it looks like it would come Thursday. But all right, okay, come over here real quick, Finn. So now for the brakes. So is what you want to do for this come over so you're not in the light. So you got these two bolts here. So what you want to do is you want to loosen these up so that this can kind of move a little bit, okay? Then you go grab your brake lever, and while holding your brake lever fully engaged, fully pulled in, then you just tighten these two levers back up. And sometimes you can pump it a couple times before you tighten it up just to kind of really get this seated in there well. And is what that'll do is there's meant to be some slide on here so that it can find the right center. So when you squeeze the brakes when this is loose, this will shift around, but it'll squeeze it equally center. And then while you're holding it center, it holds it tight to the disc. And then you tighten these down while it's being held and engaged, and then you're good to go. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times. You might have to loosen it up and then do it again. But usually you have enough reach that you can pull the lever and turn and tighten the wrench on this. And then if you kind of just gently let go of the brake and gently come back and put the wrench back on, then you can maybe tighten up a little bit more too. But just remember, the anchor for those bolts is carbon, so don't over tighten them.
Is that done?
Mm-hmm.